Hey everyone, Phi Farley here, March 10th, college basketball best bet coming to you here in 1 second. We got a nice Tuesday slate for you in college basketball, tourney time. So, make sure you're checking who's at home court, who's on a neutral court. A lot of conferences just starting. Then we got some in the middle. We got a championship game today as well. So there's a lot of content, a lot to break down. I got a best bet, though, that I like a lot. Biggest capping piece to this one is going to be motivation, which, if you can cap motivation, I'm going to tell you, you're going to get yourself about 4 years of experience under your belt if you can cap motivation in college sports, especially in college basketball. I mean, motivation has everything to do with look-ahead games, with sandwich games, which letdown games, motivation, home court advantage. I mean, we're talking a 10-point swing 1 week to the next. Motivation is a big, big factor in college basketball specifically. So today, I think we have a great spot to capture some motivation, which is not built into the line, so we can cash in our tickets. Speaking of, another win yesterday, 2 points, needed every point of that 151-point total that I could get yesterday with Northern Kentucky versus Green Bay. Landed at 149, so cashed another one. That's 10 in 10 days. If you've been out there cashing as well, I mean, congratulations. It's been fantastic. It's good to pad the bankroll, to be honest. Feels good. So keep it going. Follow along. Hit the subscribe. Hit the notification bell. And get my picks each and every day. No better time to do that than right now. We've got great content through the weekend. We got the conference tournament right around the corner. NBA, 31-15 since the NBA All-Star break. Baseball's right around the corner, which is my favorite sport. So a lot to follow along with. Make sure you're staying tuned. All right, let's talk about the best bet because I like this pick a lot. This is probably going to be the most popular game to bet on in Vegas. So we do need to be careful of that, as the line can be a little sensitive to where this market is going to be, which is also on my side, which makes me a little concerned because I think public's going to be on this side as well. So, ACC tournament, North Carolina is facing off against Virginia Tech. This line opened up 3.5 for North Carolina, moved up to 4, now 4.5. Some books 4, some 4.5. Mine still has 4, but it's about split, and I know it's going to go to 4.5. It may even go up to 5 by the time we get to tip off. This line, I believe, is about 6 or 7 points off. And I do think this is going to be a double-digit win for North Carolina, and here's why. A couple reasons. One, motivation, right? Who out there is more motivated to prove to their fan base, to their coach, to their alma mater, to their season ticket holders, to their state, to their community than North Carolina? They're not playing for a tournament bid unless they win the ACC conference tournament, which they could, but not entirely likely. If you do like that, it's plus 1850, I believe. So, you could take that. But really, they're just playing for pride. They're playing for their coach, and they're playing for all the above. And they have not had, in fairness, they have not had their team together all year. When you look at their roster and you go through their statistics, I mean, they're just broken up throughout 20 players on who had minutes throughout the entire season. It's a total train wreck. Good news is they're all back together, and they've been playing together for 2 weeks now, and the team is starting to represent North Carolina Tar Heel basketball as they should have all season. Now, they're coming into this game showing they need to prove that they are who they said they were coming into the season. They haven't had a single time to prove that, except for maybe that Duke game they just played, where they can really put their talent on the court and show they represent the Tar Heel Nation like they should have been. But this is even one more so in the conference tournament. I mean, I don't think you can get a more motivated squad than the Tar Heels will be today. Now, you look at who they lost when it comes to Cole Anthony and Brandon Robinson, just in those two players. I mean, we're talking about 283 three-point attempts thrown up, 101 made in just 42 games combined between those two teams. We're talking about 30 plus points per game 8.8 rebounds per game, 6.6 assists per game, and over 35% three-point shooting from both guys collectively. I mean, just huge pieces we're missing throughout the season. We get both those guys back. Now let me show you how quantifiably we can show that this line is a little bit off. Okay, we're going to use KenPom here. If you haven't checked out my KenPom video on how to quantify the lines and where teams are at, check that out. This will explain a little bit more of why this number is a little bit off. All right, so when it comes to North Carolina, they are about a 9.5 adjusted efficiency margin. So 9.5 is about their strength. When it comes to Virginia Tech, they're at a 7.5. So North Carolina on a neutral court should be about a 2-point favorite. Now, this line opened up at 3.5, so there's already a little bit of an adjustment towards North Carolina. Over the last 4 games, we can see that North Carolina has been off, according to KenPom. They should probably have about 7 more points added to their side since the team has been all back together. Let me show you what I mean. First, they played NC State. This is, like I said, it was 2 weeks ago. They played NC State. They ended up winning by 6 at home. Now, NC State, KenPom has as a 4-point better team. They played at home, so home court advantage puts this about in favor of North Carolina, about a half point. They win the game by 6. So therefore, the line was off by about 5.5. At Syracuse is a 3.5-point better team. Home court advantage, that's an 8-point line. They end up winning by 13. That line's off by 21. Wake Forest, they win by 10 at home. KenPom has North Carolina as a 2-point better team. Home court advantage makes the line 6.5. They win by 10. That's 3.5 points off. Duke, they end up losing by 13. Duke is a 15-point better team. Home court, I'd probably give them 5 for Duke. And they end up losing. North Carolina loses by 13. The line's off by 7. Every single one of these games, the line is off in favor of North Carolina's opponents. So North Carolina should have about 7 points added to their adjusted efficiency margin, adjusted efficiency margin as it is today. So that said, we can probably add about 7 here on a neutral court to this line as it is. So came out 2, we'd probably be more like 9. Also, this game's being played in North Carolina. The fan base is going to be based mainly in North Carolina for the Tar Heels. They will have an advantage there. And then finally, you throw on that motivation factor. I think we got a well-oiled, motivated team in North Carolina to come out and not just win, but blow the doors off of Virginia Tech. I'm taking North Carolina. I'm going to lay the 4, lay the 4.5, whatever your book has. I'll take the 4.5 as well. I think we got a nice best bet there. Good luck, everyone, today. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out my other picks, patreon.com/Phi Farley. We'll see you again soon.